Hello. Today we will be showcasing our brand Vivotte. I'm Jason, and we have Angelica, Carla, as well as Nadia. And our creative director is Professor Sinuk. Today we'll be going over what our brand is about, our mission, mood boards, keywords, logo, packaging, and posters. So we are a home essentials brand that's very conscious of what we put into our products. Our elegant and earth-tone products help connect our customers to the environment and reinforce the significance of sustainability while also enhancing our consumers' daily life. Our mission is to provide a supernatural and engaging experience that is environmentally friendly and sustainable. We use quality, all natural ingredients and recyclable packaging to take you to another realm. As you can see on our mood board is very dark and rich earth tones. This provides a elegant yet somewhat mysterious experience to our consumer that helps elevate our products. In addition to that, there's lots of plant imagery and very simple designs that really allows the feeling of breathing nature in. And when we were thinking of what kind of brand we wanted it to be, we came up with a bunch of different words. However, we really wanted to focus on these core five. It's going to be nature, life, belief, balance, and imagine. So we really wanted our consumers to really believe in this imaginative world, and that's really centered around nature and life that will bring balance to their own life. And then onto the type of customers we really want to target. So first we have James. He's a 23-year-old gardener and he really enjoys nature. He really enjoys expressing himself through his plants and the atmosphere it can bring to any space, whether it's indoor or outdoor. And he really appreciates how our brand honors nature through our design and eco-friendly mission. Next, we have Cynthia. She is a 20-year-old yoga instructor, and although yoga is supposed to be a calming experience, she really wants to get away from the hustle and bustle of her day to day life. And through our products, Cynthia is able to escape from that busy world into one of more calming through our unique scents. And finally, we have Logan. He is a 25-year-old data analyst, and he often spends his days looking at numbers and spreadsheets. And while that is boring, it is quite stressful. So he wants to get away from that. He often daydreams and starts seeing things in places it shouldn't be. He really loves that Vivote has this imaginative world behind it that it could bring you into that world through its different scents. And next we have our perception chart, which pits us against our other competitors. So as you can see, with Cartole, Joe Malone, Briogio, and Azzy MD, they all have this minimal design while intentional color choices. However, Vivote, we really emphasize that natural aspect of ours while also providing an elegant experience. And then onto our sense exploration. So when we were thinking of what we wanted our brand to feel like, we thought of these different senses. So we really wanted it to taste like honeycomb. So it's gonna be sweet and it's gonna put a smile on your face, but it also has this unique texture that you can't quite find anywhere else. And it's also gonna smell like high altitude air. So when you breathe it in, it's gonna feel very fresh, unlike the pollution that you'll find in human society. And it's also gonna look like pareidolia, which is essentially seeing faces in things that it shouldn't quite be. Like this tree stump has the two eyes, a nose, and like a mouth at the bottom. And next, it's gonna sound like something rustling through the grass. So we wanted it to feel like kind of mysterious. So you're not quite sure what's in the grass, but once you take a closer look, you realize it's just these friendly creatures that want to help you connect to the earth. And next, we wanted people to think like a hiker wandering through a forest with friends. So we really want to emphasize this sense of community as well as like just having like a fun and great time with your friends. And finally, we have our misty morning fog. So we wanted to feel like when you step outside and really early in the morning, there's not quite anyone there yet. It's really misty and there's dew on the leaves. Yeah, we want it to feel very calm like that. Like there's nothing quite going on yet, but it's the start of a fresh journey.
So our name began with a brainstorming, an exploration of a lot of names that we thought would fit this nature inspired and whimsical brand. Some of the names we came up with were Florana, Alano, and Botala. Many of these were based on Greek gods and goddesses as a main source of inspiration. Florana was the root word of Flor, is the Roman goddess of spring, and symbolized renewal and growth. And Anna came from Anahit, the Iranian goddess of healing and wisdom. All things we would love to support in our brand. Alano was a deviation of the Gaulish god Olanus, who embodies the connection between health and vitality. And of course, in our brand, we would connect this back with sustainability and nature. And finally, Botala is a name that combines botanics or botanical with mandala. And of course, this is the combination of nature and balance and harmony and meditation. And unfortunately, with these names, despite liking them, we weren't able to use them in our process due to copywriting in multiple countries that we were vetting. So we were going through Korea, US, and China, and just making sure all of these names or the name we chose would work. And of course, as you know, we ended up going with Vivote as our finalized name. This name combines the prefix viv, which is derived from vivere, meaning to live or to thrive, and growth. And we wanted this name to really embody how you can become a better version of yourself and grow into a new version of yourself and have that connection with nature.
Next is our logo. During our exploration, we went through hundreds of sketches, starting from the ideas inspired by our research into lifestyle brands and the natural world. From these sketches, we developed a concept that truly embodied what we are aiming for. After a lot of iterations, we arrived at the logo circled on the left. This logo was then refined and vectorized, but still staying true to the original sketch. We continue to revise and design this logo into a version that better fit what we are looking for. We then took that logo and refined it even more. Our final logo captures exactly what we wanted. Our final logo is a blend of mystery, playfulness, and a deep connection to nature. The design draws inspiration from woodblock stamping, a technique that reflects organic materials and our connection to the earth. The result is a logo that feels both balanced and grounded, in symbolizing the harmony between human energy and the natural world. Here's our logo paired with the tagline, "Come to another realm." This tagline invites our audience to step into a space that feels like a deeper connection to the earth. a realm that reminds us of those rare moments when we disconnect from our daily life, whether it's standing atop a mountain or simply breathing in fresh air. We want our brand to invoke that feeling of being transported to a place of serenity and inspiration. Here's our logo on black. And here is our logo with the color system. We chose a rich shade of olive to convey that natural image. By complementing it with yellow, we represent hope and creativity and enlightenment. These colors create an earthy, uplifting feel that aligns with our brand's identity. Looking to the future, we have also expanded on our logo's aesthetic by creating characters and additional design elements. These characters can serve as Easter eggs and integrated into larger projects. It provides a flexibility that keeps our designs engaged while also being cohesive.
Vivote is currently exploring two branding directions, one focusing on modern elegance and the other on classic French elegance. Branding is about continuous learning and progress, and Vivote's brand is no different. We chose to document both of these directions while we determine which one best suits our identity. These directions also highlight Vivote's flexibility and progress for our client. In Application 1, we dive into the mysterious side of Vivote. To distinguish each fragrance, we used illustrations that visually represent each specific scent. And while a dark color is ideal to evoke that feeling of mystery, we don't want to scare people away with a heavy black color. Instead, we use dark brown to evoke mystery, depth, and richness. To emphasize the darkness of the brown, we created a gradient that transitions into a light beige. This not only creates contrast, but also brings back a sense of warmth and approachability. On our product bottles, you can see how this gradient plays out. On our packaging boxes, we chose to emboss our logo to amplify that sense of mystery and trick your mind into seeing things that aren't quite there. Not only does that make our packaging visually interactive, but also physically interactive as well, as you can run your fingers over the box to feel all the grooves and edges of our carefully crafted logo. This is the layout for the packaging boxes in a flat, expanded view. The varying sizes and scale shows Vivote's flexibility to adjust its template to any size. We have a wide range of products, starting from perfume to face essence to shampoo, and many more you will soon see. Here is the packaging for the products previously shown. Then we have our diffuser and kit set. Here is the hair treatment product along with its packaging. Here is the treatment essence box. Here is another variation of our treatment essence box. To recap, Application 1 seeks to encourage curiosity and make people feel that there is something more to Vivote than meets the eye.
Now let's talk about Application 2. For this packaging, we introduce three distinct features that differentiate the products. Our first differentiation is decorative borders. These borders not only tie back to the logo's woodblock inspired style, but also help distinguish the scents across our product line. Our second differentiation are illustrations inspired by woodblock printing. Each illustration corresponds to the scent of the product. Our third differentiation are the color variations. We use our minimal color palette to distinguish products while maintaining an earthy, organic feeling. This direction is applied to products like hand creams, essence, shampoos, and perfumes with custom boxes for each of these products. For example, this is the hand cream and face essence. These three boxes are a great example of the formula we use for all of our boxes in this direction. These are a few of the Desert Rose applications. On the left, we have perfume and hand cream. And on the right, we have shampoo and face essence and their corresponding boxes. These are the same products but applied to our frosty pear scent. And this is an example of those same products applied to our green cypress scent. Here we have our diffuser and a kit that would include moisturizer, shampoo, and face essence. All three scents are available in this kit to provide the consumer a wide range of products. This is where our packaging can showcase the unique illustrations and decorative borders that create a harmony across the entire collection. Moving on to our hair treatment. Our hair treatment and treatment essence follow the same design principles and their respective boxes, showcasing the same formula. This approach ensures that each product feels connected to the brand's overall aesthetic while offering clear differentiation across the line.
Okay, so finally, we have the poster applications for Vivote. This part of the process was a bit in the middle of the semester for us. So we did it after choosing our name and our font choices, but we finalized them before finishing our product applications, which you saw earlier. And this will make more sense why we did it in this order a little bit later. First, I want to go over our font choices. I believe this serif font is an amazing representation of Vivote because it has a modern and yet still elegant appearance due to some of the rounded edges of the letters, in addition to the bold against the thin stems of the letters. Of course, Helvetica Light is a great complement to this as a sans serif, and Unbound Light is another great complement that we can use for body copy, and it's a bit more whimsical and stretched out, but I think it has a lot of balance to the Nostalgic Whispers font. So now I want to go over the previous directions that we had. As you can see, we were really keen on finding this balance of nature and this playfulness that we wanted with our little forest spirits. And we didn't end up going in this direction. And I think this is mainly more of a representation of the biomes that we wanted to represent. These were, of course, you can see the desert, some canyons, some icy aurora borealis, and you can kind of pick this up in our final poster directions. But of course, in these, it was a lot more playful with those organic shapes and the sprites interacting with the viewers and the product packaging. And in the middle of this process of finding our posters, we ended up with something like this. As you can see, the packaging is not our final packaging, but I'd like to say that these posters are getting warmer. They're going in the right direction of that final, more elegant, muted look that we were going for, as if you were immersed into this otherworldly environment, this otherworldly realm that we want to convey to our audience. And so for our final posters, the backgrounds consist of these biomes and these nature landscapes that produce these all natural ingredients that we sustainably harvest for the packaging. As you can see, these are some snippets of a canyon, a mossy rock in a forest, and a glacier sitting amongst other glaciers on the water. For our middle ground, to further immerse the viewer in this environment and kind of beckon them in almost with a more mysterious, cool aspect to it, we have our little mist burst or this burst of fog. And finally, for this foreground element, we wanted to have our otherworldly element still alive and well in our posters in a less ostentatious way. So we had these fireflies that could indicate a presence of a spirit wherever they linger. And these are our posters for direction 1. As you can see again, we have the canyon, the forest, and the ice. I'll give you a second to take that in. And for direction 2, the same essence, but with that different packaging on top. As a reflection, our team worked so hard to design what we've presented to you today throughout this semester. And I believe we really learned how communication is so important to make teamwork done well. And we believe that everything was delivered in a timely manner despite having multiple projects going on. And we all used Canva to create this, which we had never used before. So I'm really proud of us for doing that. And lastly, I think naming and advertising were some of our main struggles during this process because naming, you had to have these vetted over multiple countries. And advertising, we were really wanting to convey that mystery, which can be a hard thing to capture when it's really hard to put your finger on what exactly conveys mystery. And that might be a good question to ask for yourself. So I think we did very well in pinpointing the essence of Vivote in this presentation, and we really hope you enjoyed it. So thank you so much for your time.